Hi, I'm Jen. I'm one of the mentors here at Sunlight, and I am coming to you today from the great outdoors. It is freezing cold and the dead of winter, but that never stopped me when I had wiggly children, and it's not stopping me today. So a lot of people ask about wiggly kids. What do I do? They won't sit still. They won't listen. They kick their feet. They bang on the table. They won't do their math. Okay, so I had 4 kids. 2 are grown-up adults right now. 2 are still in school, and they were all really wiggly. And I learned from a homeschool mom who had gone before me that I needed to exercise them first. I was thinking of recess as, PE, as like, let's go play at the park, mom, as a privilege. I was thinking of it as a treat. I was thinking of it as something that we would do when our real work was done. And oh my gosh, that was completely wrong of me. Kids need exercise the way they need food and water and sleep. And especially those little wiggly ones, especially if we're going to expect them to sit still and listen. So here's my recommendation, 2 parts. Number 1 part is exercise them first. Oh my gosh, it's so cold out here. Exercise them first. That might mean walk the dog, or go outside and play a little basketball, or ride your bike while mom walks in the neighborhood or runs. That might mean push-ups or a workout video or something. I don't know, dance class. But if you exercise them first and we respect the needs of their little bodies, then they can pay enough attention for us to fill their little minds. And that really is a win for everybody. So recommendation number 1, exercise first. Also exercise during. That's recommendation number 2. I have had days, I'm thinking of one of my children in particular, who that in the middle of the day, like all of a sudden he couldn't concentrate. And the solution was not sit down, be still, pay attention, try harder. The solution was take your soccer ball and go out into the yard and come back when you're sweaty. And then he could sit and listen. Then he could think about geometry. And this was like as a teenager, not like as a 5-year-old. It happens when they're 5 years old. And then when they're teenagers, you're like, I remember this problem. This problem, it needs sweat in it. And so we did a lot of school at night, I will confess, because after soccer practice, after swim practice, they're so much more attentive. So part 2 of recommendation number 2, exercise them during the day, is, okay, again, confession. I had to stop thinking of school as sit down in your chair, straight up, be still, be quiet all the time. That was impossible for them. I realized it was impossible for me. I'm so sorry to my oldest kids. They were my guinea pigs. It's impossible for me. I need to get up and walk around. I need to stretch my legs, and so do they. And so once I got over the idea that not sitting still was not listening, and I let them try different things, I realized they listen better when they move. So if I'm reading and they're playing Legos and I ask a question and they know the answer, I know they're listening. If I let them, I had one who liked to draw and color and build with clay. I had one who liked to play with dinosaurs or cars. I have a couple who really like that Lego experience. So long as I understand that they're listening and they're truly like busy with their hands but paying attention to me, it totally works. And it takes the pressure off of everybody to do it right. And it works their little minds. It works their little bodies. Win-win. The other total genius idea that somebody told me that I never would have thought of because it was outside the box was my kids were allowed to sit on an exercise ball to do their seat work. And just the bouncing and the using your muscles, your belly and your toes and your legs to balance, helped them take that pressure off of being physically still so they could sit and listen. A friend of mine swears by a rocking chair. For kids who can't sit still. I didn't really have a rocking chair, but we use the exercise ball the same way. So exercise them first, the same way that you feed them first. Exercise them first in the day if they're too wiggly for exercising later to be enough. Let them move during the day. Like if we're hitting a hard patch, send them outside. Let's have recess, 20 minutes, go get sweaty and tired, come back, let's try again. That's perfectly valid. That's not a mom fail. That's not a crazy kid. That's just children being children. And let them move while they're listening and working, whether rocking chair, exercise ball, stand at the table instead of sit, play, do something busy with your hands while your ears are listening to me. All of that totally made my homeschool day more peaceful. I have one child who is a little bit more grown now, and God bless her, she has swim practice at 5 a.m. and her grades went up because she's tired enough to sit and concentrate the rest of the day. That said, swim practice is at 5 a.m. So my next kid will be playing basketball because they practice after school. So those wiggly ones, if we work with it instead of fighting against it, life can really be more peaceful for everybody. As soon as we get mom's brain a little bit out of the box, that's the first step. Happy homeschooling.